Hi. So here's an update. I spoke with Darius Williams, and guess what? He wants to do. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't talk to him, but I have talked to a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people. I've talked to a handful of people and gotten a brain full of information, more information about Darius's scams. Oh my gosh, there has been so much. What I talked about on the last episode was really a basic level information. And I just want to go into it a little bit right now, a little basic and clear it up because I was told I had that wrong. And I did look and do a little bit more research, and I saw I had that wrong. His restaurants weren't closed solely on his mental health. He used his mental health as a cover up, basically, because you can't dispute somebody's mental health, especially nowadays. Mental health is a serious topic and people take that seriously. Although I do know some people that question it, but you can't dispute that. Like if he said he had cancer, it would be a little bit more easier to keep him accountable. But because he said, my anxiety and depression are flaring up and yada, 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 we can't dispute that. He shows us the medication. We got to go with it. But the real reason why his 3 restaurants were closed in Atlanta was, and it just coincide with, the 701, above 701 shutdown. So interesting. But the reason why his restaurants were closed because of health. Wait, oh my gosh. Why do I keep calling it health? Health inspections. Failed health inspections. And one of the health inspections I saw were from Greens and Gravy. They gave it a C. And that was in I believe it was August of 2019. And then early on of Soul Crab Atlanta, they got a U. Now, I saw A, B, C, D, F on the little scale. I have never seen a U. I didn't see a U. I was like, U? What the fuck is a U? And they're the only ones with a U. Unsatisfactory. That's what the health inspection gave. And at the time, I'm guessing Soul Crab was just opening, and the manager, Hakeem Hampton. Now the place looked a nice sized place, a beautiful building. But Hakeem Hampton, there was a video of the news people went into Soul Crab Atlanta, and Hakeem Hampton was the manager, and he looked like, can y'all leave? Like, he was so bothered. He was so like, get out of my face. He looked like he was hiding in this little corner. Like, who are these people that you're hiring? And I'm going to get into that. And the news reporter was like, are you going to put the health inspection sticker back up to let people know, or the report back up to know what's going on, what you guys got? He's like, not right now. I'll do it later. Basically, it was just like, very like, who are these people? And that's one of the things that coincides that I see. Like, he did this video, and the video, he basically was talking about why he would never open up a restaurant. And he basically told us what led to the health inspection being so poorly, because he said the control points, like cleaning, getting people to clean, getting people to sweep the floor, getting people to get everything right, logistics, inventory, make sure we have the correct number of this, the correct number of that. And it's like, why aren't you claim you make $1 million businesses. You claim Soul Atlanta Soul Crab Atlanta yearly brings in 6 million. Why aren't you hiring the right people? It's 3 restaurants. Sure, you can't. Of course, you can't manage all 3. But why take on so much? Why, why take on so much and then let it just fall to pieces? Don't you want a good rapport with people? Don't you want a good restaurant? Don't you want a good business? Don't you, like, I feel like it muddies his name and then he just moves on. It muddies his name and he doesn't realize it. 3 restaurants shut down because of failing health reports. One from Soul Crab, the dude said, I don't know how this happens. I don't understand. Somebody was cutting limes with their hands. They were saying the fish wasn't up to proper temperature. Oh my gosh. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. In that video, when he was talking about why he wouldn't open up another business, he was in Houston and he was like, and I paid cash for my house. Like, nobody asked you about paying cash for your house, but thanks for the information. Scammation. But thank you guys for listening. Like, over 1,000 people have listened to that episode. And I just want to say there will be more. And that was just like the basic information. That was the surface information. I know there's a ton of more. I've been told there's a ton more information. There's a ton more scams. Lots of people been hurt. But I'm going to do my best to I want stories that people don't know about. I feel like this is surface kind of information about, the restaurants being closed. That's easy. What's the more difficult? What's the more crazy? And if you want to talk, if you want to tell me, leave a comment below. You could go to my Instagram at mylovemyneedtonight. mylovemyneedtonight. Leave a comment. Tell me what's up. I know a couple of people have, and I thank you so much for telling me your stories and whatnot. Again, with the restaurant, I saw that it was robbed. Oh, in the video, first of all, in the video, somebody was like, you touch your nose a lot. You like that white girl powder? And somebody said, he probably has allergies. He doesn't look like a crackhead. Somebody said, not crack, but powder. Y'all are hilarious. But in 2017, I think it was, his grits and gravy was robbed. And he said, last night, one of my biggest fears happened. My staff was robbed at gunpoint. It's money. I don't care about that. They were forced into a bathroom, feared for their lives. While some lowlife got away with nothing more than a few $100s. He said, y'all pray for my staff. And I think at that point, he wouldn't take any more cash. It was all credit. But then he kind of like dogged them, his staff, and then nastily said, whatever this reply was, his reply was, I also terminated them on Monday. Lessons learned for all of this. I should have got the whole thing, but it was, a staff employee, Angela Davis, who, thank you, Angela. She's the kitchenista. She's a chef and she's on Instagram. And thank you for, reposting or whatever the correct terminology, telling people about the last episode. I think that's really what got people paying attention. But she's been going after him for, I'm thinking, years now. This lady said about the robbery that she was an employee there. She said, look at him, how he talks about us. Did y'all know we got robbed at gunpoint and he didn't even give a day off? one day off. He has been taking care of his customer, aka his followers' credit card numbers, charging them extra, then blaming it on wait staff. Ooh wee! We had managers boggling their minds at us. Why people kept calling saying this and all that while it was him stealing from his own followers. This man has been working in dirty, nasty conditions and took for another manager to come in and clean that shit up. We never had an AC in the summer. We were working in their hot. Somebody passed out before. Oh! Somebody passed out before? No way. The ceiling in the bathroom was constantly leaking. I fell at work and sprained my ankle in the hospital. Tried to send him my hospital bill because I fell at work and he dismissed it. We didn't have a first aid kit on the restaurant for like a year. We would get cut and burned and had to go to the store and get our own stuff. He had managers paying out of their pockets for supplies and foods. He's never paid them back. But you feel a sweet relief? Are you going to feel some sweet relief when them niggas in jail get you? When the feds come and get you? I think this is right a year ago when this is a year ago when he closed all of his restaurant, or when he had to close all of his restaurants. Okay, so what do you guys think? Somebody said, what do y'all think they're gonna title Darius's American Greed episode? I vote Scamming with Soul. And that is by Paris Lux. I give credit where credit is due. I do not steal. I am telling you information, not like Darius does. Thank you so much to this Erica for commenting on the YouTube page. She said Darius has to go. He closed his restaurant, his Chicago restaurant, Soul Crab, as well. I worked in hospitality until March of last year for over 13 years. So tried to reach out twice directly on Industry Love. Never got a response. My first and last Yelp review for a restaurant to alert the fam to save their money. But clearly his dedication to grifting our aunties is alive and thriving. Let me read a little bit of that Yelp, because that one, her review was pretty it was pretty crazy. Hold on, let me bring that up in a few seconds. But I do want to say that his Instagram has been on and off, like locked and unlocked all week long. And I think that's because, people have been getting into him about that dish, the lasagna recipe and Angela, I saw Angela Davis posted her own lasagna recipe with, it was like a bechamel sauce and duck egg pasta. It looked really good. It looked so delicious. And then the funny thing was, she was like, this is what it tastes like the second day, even better. It was hilarious. I caught it, Angela. They're very funny. Her Yelp review, this lady's Yelp review. First of all, I skimmed through a couple of the reviews, and the wait time was like hours. This lady's Erica's wait time was 1 hour and 40 minutes. And I'm like, who's waiting 1 hour and 40 minutes? That's some dedication. I really want to know what's going on. I'm like, are y'all food critics? Are y'all just like got nothing else to do just to wait 1 hour and 40 minutes for some food? Not me. Rachel Ray has 30-minute meals, so I wouldn't be waiting 1 hour and 30 minutes for any food. She said the cornbread was burnt. Mac and cheese dry. Spicy greens more than sweet. more sweet than spice, even after I put a ton of hot sauce on it. In addition to all of that, as we were waiting for our checks to be closed, the sliding cooler door fell off and onto the floor in the middle of service. Can you believe this? In the pathway towards the bathroom where 2 hours previously a little boy was standing with his dad. I just make it make sense, y'all. Crazy working conditions. But yeah, this is a $6 million business. You know what? Get out of here. I'm done. Anyways, what else did I want to say? If you want to talk, if you want to share your story, first of all, go to the Better Business Bureau. But I think the limitation for getting your money back is up. I think it might have been like a year or so, but it started last summer. One thing I did see is him talking about Sardine. Now, Saw is a popular chef in Philly. She also has a restaurant, and Saw makes these abundant amounts of food and puts these abundant amounts of sugar and seasonings and yada 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 in her food. And then what does Darius do? He makes a post and he says, "Do me a favor, don't y'all ever say I put too much of something in a dish or a TikTok recipe ever." Okay, and he posted a video of her, I think it was the video, and she is Saw. She has a restaurant. It's called Country Cooking in Philly. And Saw has this gigantic bag of Domino sugar, pouring it on some sweet potatoes. They're not yams. I don't even think we have yams in America, because yams, as we know from High on the Hog, is a African plant. It's not a fruit. Vegetable, I'm guessing. So yeah, she's putting a whole fucking lot of sugar, but I'm like, okay, you both do the same thing, so you can't be calling her out. And that's what he does. He calls out black women. He called out Sunny Anderson. He called out, not called out, but he's very disrespectful towards black women. Sunny Anderson, like I said, Stovetop Kisses, the women in his Carolina Cakes photo shoot. I think even the photographers. This man named Bruce, like, he uses people and he fucks the relationship up. And it's like, how do you live with yourself like that? Not even how do you live with yourself. Aren't you scared? Like, something's going to happen to you one day, you know what I mean? I would be like, oh no, my conscience is way too much. It's too much. But that was the basic information I wanted to say. And one of his he said one of his mottos was work hard, play smarter. Child. Oh, this lady did say he double charges. That's an easy way to gain some money. Especially, you know, people are going out to eat, spending, hundreds of dollars. You got a big family. Go ahead, double charge them. That's how you get your $1 million business there. So we see you. We see you, and we see all that you're doing. And people are mad. People are mad, but people are definitely, like, on my timeline. I'm telling you, that lasagna video lit him up, because his Instagram has been on and off, locked and unlocked all week long. Now, I was trying to see any negative comments, any like, what the fuck? None of that. I'm guessing he deleted them, and he's good for a block. But all throughout my timeline, people are just like retweeting and making jokes and calling him Darius Crooks, trying to figure out what is going on with this guy. That's what it is. It's the crook. My job is to be seen. Mission accomplished. But at what cost, Darius Williams? At what cost do you want to be seen? But clearly you don't care. So, and then there's people that do know about his ridiculous scams and schemes. And then there's the people, I'm guessing, that know and really don't care or are in denial about it or whatever. But it's like, there's clear evidence of him. People like Angela are clearly telling us his recipes are stolen. And he'll put a couple of ingredients in to switch it up, like a Hennessy or a Hennessy or Hennessy. He'll put like Hennessy in everything and call it his own. And it's just like, when is this going to stop? And he was talking about he wanted to do, I think he's on his way of doing a pressure cooker, an Instant Pot. He wants to do the reason why he won't do another restaurant because the profit is lower. But if you're selling quote unquote merchandise and like poultry and glasses and stuff, it's a bit more profitable. But I'm like, are people really gonna, once they figure out, do businesses not do background checks? Like he says he's working on an Instant Pot. Is that collaboration not doing a background check? Like, are these businesses that do these like Paula Deen, Martha Stewart type things, a brand type thing, are they not doing background checks on you? See, that's why Sonny said, you're not going to use me before I come up and tell people you know me, because look, I got money, I got a name. You know what? Okay, I'm done. That's my little update on him. There will be more. Let me know any information. Like I said, my love, my need tonight is my Instagram. Leave a comment on my YouTube page if you want. I'm not on Apple Podcasts, unfortunately. At least not right now. But thank you for supporting. I think it was like over 1,000 people have listened. And I'm like, let's inform the people. Because if enough people will holler, something's going to happen. So thank you for listening. Up next, I'm going to get into my regular podcast topics. And later on, I have a little Jim's album review by Patti LaBelle. So stick around if you like. Thank you for listening, though. Welcome back to the Dare Show podcast, where I want to dare you to look at things through a different point of view, my point of view. If you want to follow me or talk to me on Instagram, you can do that. The name is My Love, My Need Tonight. It's a Janet song. I'll change it because I see this is going somewhere different. For the main course this week, I'm gonna have a Jim's, shout out to the Patti LaBelle fans, Jim's album review. It is the 28th anniversary of it, which is so cool. But first, I do want to talk about some things. Nene leaks. Nene did this crazy interview on Jason Lee's Fox Soul show. Jason Lee really tried it. Jason Lee he asked her about everything. Nene looked very uninterested, or she just like staring at the camera and that's it. Not a lot of movement. It was just like weird, slightly. But Nene has this new lounge, the Lanithia Lounge, that just opened. Well, I don't think it just opened, but it's getting a lot of attention. It's a newer lounge, but That's what I mean. She talked about Marlo and how Marlo is boring and nobody wants to see her on TV. She has like the perfect life, the perfect nephews. Blankety blank. She talked about how Cynthia. It was a really negative interview actually. She talked about how her and Cynthia are not friends. I think she left it at that, and then she went on to Eva and was like, these are like her answers to Jason's questions. Eva should have revealed her true house or whatever house she was actually living in instead of some fake house, whatever that issue was. Also, Eva never, I think Eva is over top model, which is very interesting. I don't know. It's weird. Like, how do you get over something that maybe you just had a bad, I guess I don't know. Did she have a bad experience? I mean, she won. I think a lot of the damage people, I don't know. I think a lot of the damage on top model were the people that didn't necessarily win. Were the women. And I think if you know about Oliver Twist and the top model like interviews he's been doing, he said like she's one of the ones that didn't want to do the interview. Like she's over it, she's moved on. But it's like this is how you got your start. This is what made you popular, and you're one of the more successful models on Top Model, but whatever. But I was just like, yeah, she didn't mention Top Model. Like I was just watching a clip, and she was talking about when they went to Japan, and she was talking about how when I first came to Japan for work, she didn't say Top Model. Interesting. But she's just like, Nene was just saying, you know, people would have liked her more if she would have showed her real house. And I'm like, is that what happened with Eva? Because she was on for like 1.5 seasons. So I'm like, I'm not sure. Also, like, what happened with, like, I wonder, like, why certain people didn't come back? Like, why didn't Shamari come back? Why didn't Eva come back? I don't know. I don't know. She talked about Candy. And as we know, a couple of weeks ago, I said Candy. Nene was mad at Candy for, in a way, for like, or jealous, it seemed like, for having all these shows. Like, I named off like 5 different shows Candy has had over her Real Housewife of Atlanta career, while Nene has only had a wedding special. And the thing is, Nene has I think she has a bad way of doing business. Also, Nene might not be always entertaining with just, you know, her little crew of family. The wedding special was pretty entertaining, but that's when Nene was kind of fun and funny at that time. Didn't look like a different person. But Candy was like, I mean, Jason was like, is Nene intimidated by you? That whole interview was just like ridiculous. Like, what does Candy have to be intimidated? Candy has so many businesses going on. Candy is on every TV screen at this point. Every show at this point. She's done like 2 movies. She's done another TV show. She's on The Real Housewives. I just feel like there's always like, and then Nene's like talking about this new show she's gonna have. And I'm like, Nene, we'll see when we believe it, because I don't see it for you. I don't. She kind of alluded, but she's like, I'm just keeping it hush hush. Like, I can't talk about it. And it's like, you ain't got no show coming out, but whatever. Oh, mainly, she talked about the formula. And she was like, I don't know how these networks think they can do this formula where the creator or a prominent star on the show is on the show, or they're like a producer, like a Shawnee, and the other cast members can't read them or get them together because they're in fear of their job. And it's like, well, Nene, you kind of, it's very hypocritical, because every time somebody comes to you with critique or trying to get you together, you shut them down. It's a stop talking to me. It's not even a every time Every time. I think that's the main thing with her fallout with Cynthia, her thing with Candy, her thing with Tanya in Japan. So many times people will try to come and get you together and or clap back at you, and you shut them down and you act like it's not a problem. It's so weird. It's so hypocritical. Can we move on to The View? The View, I meant to talk about this a while ago, but if I don't write it down, I would definitely forget. The View did not get nominated for an Emmy. Not one Emmy. Well, I don't think in the main categories. This is why I'm saying this is because this is the first time in, 21 years? From the beginning, they have gotten nominated for like Best Talk Show, Best Talk Show Host, Best Outstanding, whatever, Informative Talk Show. This is the first time in years. This is also the first time in years where they've had like a crazy co-host. And Megan is a riot over at The View. Her and Joy is always getting into it. At first, it was her and when Sarah came back, her and Sarah, she would be subtle with Sarah, subtle shade. She hasn't got into it with Sunny as much as like Whoopi. And one of the things that Kay Sherrill from My View on The View told us is that Megan and Whoopi have a thing. Whoopi was invited by the White House to do some stuff or whatever, something, invited. And Megan wasn't. Now, Megan's family, Megan's mom is a big supporter of the Biden administration and kind of helped him get votes in Arizona. And Megan took that as a what the fuck? And it's like the what the fuck is your attitude, the way you treat people, your track record on that show, trying to get people fired, banning people on the show. You're a riot on the show, and yet they keep keeping you. But hey, I don't know if she's bringing in the views. Probably not. I think a lot of people don't like Megan and probably don't watch because of Megan. Their season is about to wrap soon. They're still on Zoom. I don't like it. The View needs to be in person. At least the ladies do. Put them far apart from each other, but they need to be in. Do the Housewives. They're literally like the Housewives. Do the Housewives reunion these days. Put them far apart and let's have them in the room because this whole Zoom and delays, it's horrible. The View is horrible in that way. In September, will they be back in studio? We'll see. But shout out to Wendy because Morel and Jasmine, Morel, who's a staple on the show, who does Wendy's makeup, he was nominated for Best Makeup. Jasmine, although I think, what year was this? Like 2015, 16. Wendy had a very beautiful hair. Unfortunately, her original, her original hairstylist passed away. This is a while ago, but we love, I'm forgetting his name. It's not Andre. We love him, but anyways, shout out to him. I think he had lupus, they said. But like, damn, it was so sudden. So heartbreaking. But yeah, I think it was like 2015, 2016 where Wendy had like the best hair. These days, it's like a real hit or miss. Same with the wardrobe. Sometimes it's a little hit or miss. But I think it's more with the hair. Sometimes it looks really wiggy. Sometimes it's a bad cut. She keeps wearing that short blonde number. Sometimes it looks amazing on her. So, but shout out to Jasmine. I don't think she's been nominated for hair for a while. Mariah and Jay-Z. I can't believe people really thought that Mariah and Jay-Z were actually going at it. Like, get out of here. Are you serious? Get out of here. There was like this report saying that Mariah and Jay-Z, because Mariah left, she was with Rock Nation and she left Rock Nation management. And then now the Mariah report reported this like almost 3 weeks ago now. So why is 3 weeks later this random ass report coming out that they got into like this big argument, such and such? Jay-Z he was yelling at her about her career, like you need to do whatever, and it's like, get out of here. Jay-Z, I don't think is that hands-on with people's careers. Jay-Z, I don't think is yelling at anybody. You know, isn't Jay-Z the same person? We're talking about the same Jay-Z who shanked somebody and ran out the club. The same Jay-Z who called Slim Thug and the other rapper on the Beyonce's Check On It video to leave. He called them. He didn't come up to them and say, leave. Like, come on, you guys. Jay-Z isn't yelling. And Jay-Z has like such a soft voice. This is no diss, no negativity. I'm just saying like my thought of Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z, he seems like such a softie. He doesn't seem like somebody who's yelling. Sure, he's from Brooklyn, but that ain't mean shit. But like I said, there's no way. I didn't believe. I was just like, why is this even up here? Why are people even, and people really believe this shit? Like they were really going in like, and I think it's only because Mariah has such a crazy career. And her career is so dramatic. She's so dramatic. I think that's the only reason why. And I want the best for Mariah. But I want her to stop flip-flopping. Well, not flip-flopping. I want her to stay in one lane and be good in it. I want her to get the best music. I want her to be creative. Live out your creativity. Still have some good creativity in you. I don't want Mariah. I don't really care about another Mariah album. Maybe slightly. Okay, let's see what you got now. But I want her to go into more writing for other artists. I know writing is such a deep and personal thing to her, but with the right artists, you can probably, you can produce a whole album, collect Grammys, collect checks, number ones again. I want the best. We want the best from Mariah. And I think, like I said, I think the only reason why this kind of took off, this rumor, and she said it was a rumor. She said, like, the only disagreement me and Jay has had was during the Heartbreaker video. Now, that moose, son of a bitch. I'm glad she said that because he probably wasn't going to say anything. But like I said, I think the only reason why this took off was because there is faultiness in Mariah's career, especially after her divorce from Tommy. The glitter thing, the bipolar thing, and I'm surprised Nick Cannon thing, she hasn't said it. Well, nobody's Nick Cannon and his like 12 kids at this point. Mariah, this Nick Cannon thing. That's the only reason why. I think people find they find her career very faulty and not 100% stable. They're always like, is she going to get that next number one? Can she stay relevant? Yada, 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 yada. This bonnet situation, my thing about the bonnet that Monique, the actress, comedian, talked about, my thing about the bonnet is I don't like it. I don't understand it. Why women wear it in public. Like, just put your hair up in a ponytail, or I don't know. I never thought of a bonnet. I thought bonnets were for like going to sleep. Like it was a do-rag type thing. And you know, that's one thing I actually don't see a lot of men doing is wearing do-rags here. In the South, like I see a lot of hats, or they just go fucked up with their fucked up hair. So that's one thing as far as like hair. I don't see a lot of, but I do see a lot of women wearing the bonnets, and I'm like, I thought this was for, it just looks, it's weird. It's weird. I don't get it. Monique talked about the bonnets and wearing pajamas. I'm a little back and forth on pajamas. Now, pajamas, my mom bought me these delicious, comforting pajamas. And they, oh my gosh, so, like a couple, I think during like the winter or some days, like before now, it's like 90 degrees. I was like, some days I don't want to take them off and I just want to, I'll go to the store with them. But I'm like, no, let me put some real clothes on. And I walk out the house looking like this. Um, I do kind of understand the pajama thing, but I don't think I see it as frequent. Like I work in a store, a lot of people come into the store. It's a very popular, annoying store, and I don't see the pajama thing. I see a lot of Crocs. Now, a lot of people are iffy about Crocs. They either like it or they don't, but I see a ton of Crocs. Wow. And I think I put on a pair of the fake Crocs a couple of weeks ago when I went shoe shopping. And I don't know, like, I guess because I don't have feet issues or comfort issues, they didn't really matter, but whatever. So, so the bonnet thing, I guess. And Monique was like, she always brings up, her past experiences as a way to justify her current experience or current talks. She's like, Patti LaBelle told me some deep shit one day and I had to hear it. I needed to hear it. And it wasn't no cookie cutter shit. And it was just like, okay, Monique. But I don't get it, but my thing about it now is it's such a big thing, like racism. Racism it probably isn't going anywhere. It's not. But the thing about the bonnets, like the bonnets, people are going to do what they want to do. Sure, you can tell people, try to have a little bit more effort into how you look when you go out in public. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. So there's that on that. Patti LaBelle wine. Now this is a little, we're going to segue into her Gems album review next. But her wine, I was looking on Instagram. Of course, Patti doesn't post a lot. But she did say, y'all have a happy Monday this week. Shout out to that. That was a nice moment. Patti LaBelle wine, though, it was like this black-owned wine company. And they were like, stay tuned because we have something really cool coming up next week. Of course, it's always next week with Patti LaBelle. And it's like, okay, we'll see. We know Patti loves the Camus wine. I think Mariah might have turned her on to that or something. But okay, that's all I have to say for this week about, little things. So up next on this, for the main course, we're going to have a little album review of Gems, Patti LaBelle's, I think it was her 12th album at that time. Let's talk Gems. Gems is Patti LaBelle's album. This is the 28th anniversary of it. It came out on June 7th, 1994. I meant to make a post about it on Instagram, but Darius took over. The spirit of Darius took over. The album was really mostly produced by Teddy Riley. And a couple things, like I said before, Patti's had a couple songs produced by Bud. And one thing I think about, and I find very interesting, is, I guess, and it's nothing to be negative about, it's just like a thought. Like, did MCA not care about Patti? Or did they, because all of her albums were like platinum or gold. So very successful here in America. In America, they were platinum or gold. What am I trying to say? Like, did the label not care? Because they just had, or did they just trust Bud? Or did they just were like, okay, whatever. I just found it interesting. Like, some of the albums have like multiple songs produced by Bud. But along, there's like Teddy Riley and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. whose Mariah song comes out this week. I think it's on Friday. Wait, when's the 10th? Oh, the 10th's tomorrow. Never mind. It comes out tomorrow. I think. Where's the 10th or 11th? I think it's the 10th. And they released a little snippet, but this isn't about Mariah. This is about her godmother, Patti LaBelle, and the album Gems. This album has a ton of great gems, great moments. I did split it up into like 3 different categories. The first category was like up tempos, which is like the right kind of lover, which was like the smash hit. Like I said I said this last week or a couple weeks ago. I said this on my first episode. When I went to her concert, the right kind of lover. When that came on, they were up popping their pussies. Okay. I do remember like something coming out that like, or reading that the song was a little bit more explicit in the lyrics. And Patti was like, listen, I'm not singing that. Let's change it up a little bit. So they changed it up. Jimmy Jam. I think Anne might have written on, Ann Nesby. I believe she wrote on this song. It's a poppin' song. Yeah, we really love What Kind of Lover. I'm in Love. I'm in Love is like the title track. I mean the first track on the album. Denise Rich wrote this, and I think her and Patti are really good friends. Because I've heard Denise Rich come up in like a couple of her interviews before. This is such a great vocal moment. And it's a really great song, period. Too Good to Be Through. Now, some of these are not completely up-tempo. Some of them are like mid-tempos. A lot of ballads on this album. A lot of up mid-tempos. Too Good to Be Through. Was this the one? Too Good to Be Through. I think that one. Oh, okay. Too Good. To me, it sounded like she didn't really know the song. Like she's reading it. I mean, it's cute. It's cute. A couple of songs are not my favorite. There's just one song I do not care for at all. Years later, after listening to Jim multiple times. Jim's is like I do remember like being on the floor. That's a memory. Listening on the floor to Jim's. Song that I not like. I Can't Tell My Heart What to Do. Yeah. And one thing about Gems on this album, somebody said like the backgrounds are really great. I don't like the background so much, especially towards the end of the album. The backgrounds, it sounds like 10 different people singing at 10 different times. It sounds like a period piece. The album in itself sounds like a period piece. And the backgrounds don't help. That's all I have to say. Too Good to Be Through. Yeah. It's a simple song. I wonder if this was like an album filler. The covers on this album. All This Love by DeBarge. Patti Slows It Down. It's a beautiful video. Really beautiful video. I know they sang it once together. There's like a video of them singing it once. I don't think Patti sings that anymore. She should. There's a lot of songs Patti could bring back and sing live. Stay in My Corner by the Dells. This is one of the most prominent songs on the album. The vocals are explosive. For some reason, like, I don't know if they were really trying to take us back to a time period, but like her voice sounds far away from the mic or sounds in a filter. I don't think Patti's ever recorded a song. I think a lot of Patti's live elements that she has in her shows or live vocals she's brought to this album. I did a lot of like riffs and runs and let me show you my acrobatic tricks with my voice. Her like long notes that she like, I don't think she's ever held a note. Oh, maybe like Yo Mister. But this song was one of the special songs like Patty's never. And when I say she's never recorded, I feel like I said, Patty says sometimes she would work with producers and they would have her sing a certain way, and I don't think she was always able to like be 100% Patty on a record. And sometimes that did shine through, like in Stay in My Corner. It's such a great song. Then she has a long note, and then she does the key change. And then another one that I feel like Patti was able to be herself was on If I Don't. We're going to the ballad section. If I didn't have you, another love song. I feel like gems. Knowing that Patti loves ballads, like when she broke up when LaBelle broke up, Patti was like the ballad queen. She went to the ballads. Nona was like the rock girl, and the disco and dance girl was Sarah. And I feel like gems. Just knowing that information, I feel like Gems was a Patti album. Maybe she like had more input in it, or she just like really loved doing it. Just putting two and two together, not going too crazy. But like I said, If I Didn't Have You is one that I feel like she really brought her live element to, especially towards the end. This specific song is like acapellaed on the Gospel to Soul documentary, which is on my YouTube page, where Bud is talking to, is it Sammy? No. I think he's talking to one producer, or a producer's talking to the, like reporter or director, whoever. And it's like, do you hear her voice? Her voice is she's so bringing that gospel element to this soul song, to this love song. And there's like a couple double harmonies moments. She's showing off her range. I did feel like the background's a little strange, like I said again. But overall, this is a really good song. And Time Will Tell is another great song. Another slow song. She takes her time, but it's not as slow as Our World, because Our World is a good song, but it's like, okay, can we move on a little bit? Time Will Tell, like I said, such a great song. She's being so dramatic at the end. She's belting this song out throughout the song. She's showing her range. It's another great song. And then the last, Patti had a little hand in writing, Come As You Are. And I think the Gem Store was not called the Gem Store. I think it was called the Come As You Are Tour back in the mid-90s. And the song is very dramatic. Like I said, she brings her live element to this. Especially, it's like, towards the bridge, it has a little break. And then she just comes back and sings this high-ass note and just brings you down vocally, like does these like vocal runs, scales in a way with the lyrics. It's just beautiful song. Come As You Are. And it brings such a gospel element to it. And I think she's done this live. I think she's done this live recent years. Also, there's this video of her doing it live. Incredible. I love Patti and her voice. But gems, yeah. Shout out to these gem songs. One of my favorites, of course, Right Kind of Lover. If I Didn't Have You, Stay in My Corner. Overall, what would I give this album? I would give this a 4.5 out of 5. Basically, the only thing to me, like I said, there's a couple songs I don't particularly care for. This is one song. Wait, let me find it right quick. This word is all. Now, This Word Is All was written by this lady named Carol Duboc, I think. And Carol I think this is the right lady. She has a YouTube page, I mean an Instagram page, and as an ad, like an ad or something, it came up like, this is I wrote this song or whatever, and I'm like, it sounded like Patti really didn't know what to do with the song, because at the end of the song, she sings like, I don't know what to say, and I'm like, Patti, what? Y'all really? I think I said this before. I'm like, y'all really approved of this? MCA, you really approved of this song? Like, it's a cute song, but it's like a 2 minute. It's a song 2 minutes too long. Like, y'all should cut it off in the bridge. Lord, like I said, Gems has his problematic moments, but overall, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5, because when the songs that matter really matter and save this album. What are your favorite songs from Gems? Let me know in the comments or on my Instagram at My Love My Need Tonight. Shout out to Gems. Shout out to Patti. We love both. Let me know, what are your thoughts on Mariah and this? Well, there's really no thoughts, because that didn't happen. What are your thoughts on the bonnet situation? Are you a bonnet wearer? Let me know about your thoughts on this Daruis thing. There will be more Daruis information. I don't know how I'm going to cut it up. I'm still like taking it all in. I'm still trying to process what I just experienced, because it was kind of a shock. But there will be more Daruis information. Like I said, if you have a story, leave it in my comments, DM me. I am definitely a person of privacy. I will not talk unless you want me to talk about it. Yeah, I'm very respectful. I'm not like Darius. But anyways, shout out to me. Shout out to you guys for listening. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Dare Show podcast. And next week we have Classic Moments. It'll be the anniversary of Classic Moments, Patti's like 100th cover album. But yeah, listening, what I'm trying to say, follow me on Instagram if you would like, subscribe. Thank you for the new subscribers on my YouTube page. Leave a comment. Tell me what's up. Thank you for listening.